Actually listen to the back chat.
Let's do it. This is
Like
going to be
follies.
great.
I do feel a little cheated.
Yeah,
you should.
Go again.
Do you want to read again?
Oh my God. But wait, which performance are they scoring?
Whichever one is higher.
The better one.
Okay, whichever one's better. Okay, but now I need to put my poems in the right order again. Give me 2 seconds.
Okay.
This is awesome.
5, 6, 7,
It's a learning curve.
8.
There is a worldwide pandemic and we still get to be together instead of dying in the streets.
I know.
Upsides, downsides, trade-offs.
Okay. I'm ready to read again. Sorry that y'all have to hear these twice. They're a bit of a downer. Sunday, August 30th. Blood is coming from body, from country. The dogs will fight, and we hope at least one will learn from the folly. Tuesday, September 1st, 2020. Sunshine feels mystic, feels fake. One can understand why in these times it's so hard to trust good. God may be over. At least little mushrooms grow at the base of a potted tree. I'm happy for the company, their effort to just be. Wednesday, September 2nd, 2020. I am a hologram today. Even the dogs see through me. I make everyone uneasy. My near existence fills the crowd with nervous alarms. Where am I really? Wednesday, September 9th, 2020. An overripe plum loses its sweetness, becomes another thing. But how to appreciate its new self? Take a bite. Don't expect the past to renew itself. Accept the mush in your mouth. Don't fight. Friday, September 11th, 2020. Here we are, 19 years later, still sick in head and heart. Can a city die twice? Tuesday, September 15th, 2020. There are Indian love poems that suggest love is less than dust, and that love's last reward is death. I couldn't say if this is true, but I believe it's wisdom just the same. Wednesday, September 23rd, 2020, Crowbar's birthday. I come from iron. I come from wreckage. Somehow a weapon to force us apart has brought us closer. The rocks in our way have been removed. We mine the past to clear our path. Down in the mines, you are with me, and I will be with you. Monday, September 28th, 2020. A tiny spider flees from the mist of the spray bottle when I water the parlor palm. The water makes his web shimmer in the afternoon sun. Thank you.
Thank you, Melinda. Our next reader is going to be Michelle Parker Randall, followed by Keys. And whenever you are ready, Michelle, we can turn over the hourglass.
All right, thank you. This is called Tea Hot, Tea Iced. Dad taught me how to make tea, and Mother taught me how to make tea properly. Summer, my boys bobbed and glittered side by side in our pool, bodies floored a tan. I told them of living in England when I was their age, and summers spent in a Panama City beach bungalow, hot. You must absolutely temper the pot. Allow the china to warm slowly by filling with hot water. Too hot, too fast, and china cracks. Use loose tea, Prince of Wales, Irish breakfast, black currant, sold in tins. Add boiled water, steep, add milk and sugar to taste. Cup by cup, I filled their heads. I granted them dreams. I told them they were strong as granite. I raised my boys on Smarties, not M&Ms. Jelly babies, not gummy bears. And Dolly Mix, we've nothing like it. I called her mother when I was in trouble. I called her ma'am when I wanted trouble. Iced, use tea bags filled with fannings, dust tea leftovers from prime leaf cuttings, steep, add water, and pour over ice. The word dad breathes like cambric. I called him sir sometimes. Once at an estate sale, I found a silver tea strainer, blackened with age and air. It was labeled unknown, sterling mark hinge hidden and dumped in a shoebox marked miscellany. The dregs of a home in a cardboard cup. She is not my home, she's in my home. Mother stewed months when I moved out, waited for, hoped for, a return. 2 years before I could hand her my estate sale find, silver now gleaming, patinaed as answered. Those 2 years, the strainer sat fat as a beetle on my maple hutch. 2 years she held on. This year, in my parents' kitchen, I ferret for something mine or like mine. Dad sits at the pine plank table, ball cap herding his hair, hand grasping a glass of iced tea. He's happy I've come home, happy to have me here. I ask how mom is. Stupid question. Ah, well, he answers. I find a square tin of loose tea she brought over the pond when she married him. Black tea, once gleaming, now so long past oxidation it's almost dust. He peers in the tin, asks, what is it? The unfortunate leavings. It's her tea, Dad. What we hold on to. A lock of hair, a remnant, a tin of tea. I had got the tea out with intent. I put it back. Thank you.
Perfectly timed poem, by the way. All right, everyone take a moment to vote for Michelle. And then Keys, whenever you are ready, we will, you can begin.
Hello, everybody. My name is Keys. Okay, my poem is called Black in Time. Blinded by alternative facts, we neglect the fact that there's been no justice for Black America, teaching us only what they want us to hear, not what many are disturbed to see. Our textbooks filled with a bunch of fallacy, basic rights amendments say we were given, but words are one thing and the action has been split into pieces. My voice is the thesis digging into the creases of facts with no reason, exposing the corruption within the system that we reside. I refuse to hide behind the lies showed to our eyes. Our history buried in time, uncovered through rhyme, in hopes to shine light on what we've been deprived. We deserve reparations for our many creations. The music, the fashion influenced the masses. On the block in hip hop, Black glamour, it don't stop. Power to the people, said X and Garvey. Be unapologetically Black and don't ever be sorry. The Black Panther Party took it on as their duty to get the people moving. Revolutionaries, activists, visionaries, liberating and freeing the minds. This is Black in Time. I have another poem because I have more time. I didn't think I was going to read it that quick. Okay, thank you for the claps and the snaps. Okay, my next poem is Free. Okay. I hope to be the one to set us free from this false sense of reality, a capitalistic society fucking with the economy. Within my head, I possess the key that unlocked this said prophecy. Pay it forward to receive blessings, and only then will you start possessing the knowledge and skills you've been suppressing. But if it's for clout with intentions unpure, don't be floored when you choose the wrong door. We must educate the youth and get them to see the truth. Social media is brainwash, like a coma that's been medically induced. Always on live, but barely alive, only showing when we thrive and never when we cry. It's a disgrace we allow it to take up so much space. And at this point, we're all in a sunken place. It must be dope. I mean, it's basically a drug the way it fuels our self-esteem. We need to get out and not be afraid to shout. Trust your gut within thee, and only then will you see we all possess the key that unlocked this said prophecy. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you to Keys. Excellent. How old are you, Keys?
I'm 21.
You're 21?
Yes.
Well, congratulations.
I guess.
You're quite good for a 21-year-old poet.
Thank you. Thank you. I actually heard about this from my professor, Amy Lemon. She was in the last thing. So then I came and I signed up and I wrote both these poems in her class.
We love Amy Levin. Yeah, she's a friend of the bar. Wait, what? So where do you go to school? Is that FIT?
Yep, FIT.
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome. Come back and see us again. Dawn, Dawn Krieger is next, and then Cindy Beer. I'm going to say it wrong again, so I won't even say it. You are on deck.
I have two for you. This first one was just nominated for a pushcart. 1 in 1,000 Black men in America can expect to be killed by police. 2019, Edwards et al., Proceedings of the National Academy of Science. I woke to the governor's stay-at-home order, drove the turnpike anyway. Each cop we passed, and there were many, I thought of my white Subaru and my skin, like 1,000 times before. In the beginning, Lot's wife died nameless, not because she looked back, but for remembering. In a sweet vision, I lived naked, small trees wide spaced, warm shade, rich with apricots, a white beach in view, gentle surf, a dark squall rushing across the water. A walled colossus to the south, massive piers, men of all shades at labor, oars and sails, slanted ships, long and low, bilgewater and shackles, Babel, the towers at city center in flames, smoke and harbor stench, billowing silver in the sun. I have always longed to live simply in an orchard, figs and cedar, olives and almonds, ladders and baskets, gloves and fresh bread, each day time stretching to the evening cool. So many remember their past lives as princes. Like them, I long for Eden, where tyranny and forgetting were new. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Dawn. Some snaps up for Dawn. Let's take a moment to vote, and then my timer got knocked sideways, but I'm just monitoring the levels, and everybody has been extremely respectful to their peers so far. Cindy, whenever you are ready to begin, go ahead and begin, and we can't wait to hear you. Oh, and pardon me, after Cindy is Bruce Whitaker.
Okay, I'm going to read two poems, and both have to do with caregiving. I was a caregiver for my father who had Alzheimer's, and the first one's about, I was written after I came home from cleaning his apartment. The Collector. I found them this morning, hidden, I suppose, the back of your closet, cupped together in size places, one from Handy Stop, one from our visit to Carvel Ice Cream. I recognize the large one, blue, translucent, clean as new. You washed it, didn't you? I can see it now, the way you waited after I tossed it, left it for dead. You came along, the savior of all things plastic, discarded, gently pulled the garbage open, probably dug it from its grave under peels of skinned apples, chips of eggshells. You lifted it up, found its lid, because you know the importance of covers, how each owns its own bottom. Finding this match, you cleansed and dried them, skillfully placed them seam to seam, and brought them here, the dark corner, where others awaited, white forks, folded napkins, styrofoam cups. I could toss them all, would you remember? Perhaps instead, I will keep them here, keep them the way I want to keep you, just in case. The Truth, or As If It Were True, which is the title poem of my manuscript. True story. He calls me from his hospital room. I'm in the street. I'm buying you pears because you take good care of me. At first I worry, is he in the street? Whose phone are you using? I don't know, I'll check. Hey, who are you? A woman's voice answers. She is now on the phone. Who is this, he asks. She asks, I'm Cindy, his daughter. Your father was worried, so I let him call. So he's not in the street? No, she confirms, he's in his room. My father's voice is in the background. He is now on the phone. I tell him I'm coming. I tell him 2 hours. 2 hours, he shouts. 2 hours again. So then I lie. I will be there soon, in a couple of minutes. I'll tell her now. She answers aside. He's in Montefiore Hospital, room 312. And then to his voice, she knows where you are. A moment, a while, 10 minutes, 2 seconds. We say this to people every day as if it were true. Dad, I will see you in 15 minutes. I will meet you on the corner. I will bring you pears.
Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Cindy. I appreciate the subject matter in those poems. Bruce Whitaker, you are next, and Patricia Kerrigan, you are on deck.
Good evening, everyone. Great to be here. Great to see all of you. The first poem is called Hello Again. To all our reincarnations, the universe you think draws straight lines actually sketches boomerangs. The dimensions radiate a waltz. Our present is my future, is our future, is my present. Big bang to black star, repeat. Hello again. No past, it is gone. No future, not yet. Only N-O-W. Briefer than a heartbeat, yet stretching beyond the rim of eternity, distilled in this breath. Draftsman to draftsman, tracing the cosmic curve to that fragile mirage that we are, will, and were. The next one is called Life on the Half Shell. It will be coming out next month in the Journal of American Poetry. We were given straight teeth, chlorinated water, and cheap college. We slept where, with whom, for as much as we cared, and then moved on. No one's children were promised more than we, and we took it open-mouthed, we, the most promising. Houses were repainted and flipped, yards sprinklered. Winters in the sun made an endless summer, even up north. We sucked oysters out of shells until the reef was stone, the remaining water murky. Now we sit all alone, each on our own pole. We dot the dirty bay, plump mendicants pumping our bivalves in the asphyxiating air as the water recedes. And the final one is a drinking poem, which I thought was very appropriate here for KGB, so dedicate to this wonderful bar. It's called The Chorus of the Elixirs. Gin whistles, whiskey moans, wine sighs, tequila squeaks, vodka rings, champagne chirps, brandy lullabies, spirits who so generously vocalize rim to lip to ear, yet I never hear from beer. Thank you, everyone.
Yay.
I never hear from beer. Sorry, a little slow to the mute, a little slow to the mute button. So our next poet this evening is Patricia Kerrigan, and Indran is on deck.
I don't think Patricia is here.
She is not yet here, or she is not here at all.
Yeah.
They are the same. Indran, you are next.
But what do we do with the score? Because we have to put something in hers.
I think just whatever
One.
you're feeling,
can-
probably a one.
Unless you think her absence was excellent.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say skip it, but actually I think you can't skip it. So just put a 1 in, and that'll be a placeholder. And we can put Patricia in a later poll if she comes here. If she's able to get here soon, then we'll get her on the other end, and the 1 won't count.
Wonderful. All right, so we can begin at any time. I'm marking my spot. Indran, the stage is yours.
You're on mute. Indrid, you're.
Sorry, I got a little bit combobulated by Patricia's absence. Blaming it on Patricia, no. Let me begin by reading 2 poems from my book, The Migrant States. The first one, The Migrant's Reply. We have been running for so long. We're tired. We want to rest. We don't want to wake up tomorrow and pack our bags. We have gone 10,000 miles. We have boarded a rowboat, tugboat, bus, freight train. We have a cell phone and some bread. Our eyes are dry. Our breath needs washing. What next? You're putting up a wall on your southern flank. What an irony. The country that accepts refugees does not want us. We qualify. We have scars. And our host governments hunted at least some of us. The rest fled in fear. Gangs do not spare even the children. White vans took away our uncles, our cousins. Do you think they've been made into plowshares? Aye, what are you saying? Too easy to wear our hearts in these words, in slings, on our faces, furrowed, perplexed. What happened to kindness to strangers? Why do we have to be herded like prisoners held in a holding camp? We are human beings, and like you, in safer countries, we have the same obligation to save ourselves and our children. Oh, the children, look at them. Give them food and school and a new set of clothes. Give them a chance. Whether you are red or blue, the eye of the hurricane does not discriminate. We are your tumbling weeds, hurling cars, flooding banks, and we are diggers of the dikes. We can teach you so many languages and visions. You would learn so much, you would never, ever say, lock us up. And then the avocado season is over from Haiti. The season of avocados is over. The most beautiful girl in town is about to marry a man across the water. My brother is busy with his manuscript. Time to share ideas in a book has gone to the country without a hat. Accept reality. Don't live anymore in fantasy. You are getting along in years, but have only spoken Creole for 2. You have a great long life ahead. Think, reflect, tell all the new families congratulations, good luck, then write again about your life in Haiti when the avocado was in bloom. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. That was beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
After Indran, we have Susanna and the Susanna Case. And then after Susanna Case, we have Catherine Gonick.
Hi, everyone. So this is one of my poems set in high school, and it's called The Kiss. I hope Jeanette recovered from the wet kiss that boy, whose name I don't remember, bestowed upon her eye the night before graduation, sucking it until it swelled, color of a crushed cherry plum, the eye equivalent of a hickey. I would like to think she was able to view him clearly afterward. I mean that metaphorically as well, that she realized early there were sacrifices to love not worth making. Why she let him do it is a puzzle from this distance, where the balance sheets of sex form the thickness of a ledger. Except that then we shoved our iframes in our purses in every meaning of that action, ingrained in our brains that boys didn't make passes at girls who wore glasses. Thank you.
Would you like to read some more poems?
No, I'm done. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
All right. So right now, the poll should be filling up. Get all of your scores in. Are you seeing the numbers go up, or is that just me? I'm seeing the score.
We're not seeing them right now.
No, I don't
Okay,
see
so I'm
anything.
actually watching. Oh, I'm seeing how everyone is rated.
Because
It's very exciting. We're at 18 out of 30. Let's see. We should get to about like. I
Quick
mean, I know some
question, do we
people won't
just
be able to
submit
vote
it
because,
in-
like, I can't vote, so we can't get to. So we're at
Jason,
20 out of 30.
Yeah, if anyone is having trouble, do keep a paper ballot, and if you send it to us after, we'll certainly count it.
I was asking for the first 10. Do we just submit and then there's another 10?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just double checking.
I
Thank you.
submitted- So I already submitted, so you have that, right? I mean,
I believe so. I can't see who submitted or what numbers they submitted. I can only see like 20. We're now at 22 out of 30 submissions, and I can see what the ratings are. And everyone really likes what's happening tonight. Is what I can tell you from the numbers I'm seeing.
Yeah, everybody's been fantastic so far. I think one of the advantages of doing it online like this is there is a certain odd character who has not shown like type. I don't mean anyone specific.
Oh, are we talking about our friend with the beer with the?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes,
With the
he would have
beer
been in the
tabs.
waiting room.
Yeah. Okay.
He would have been right in the waiting room.
But in general, there's a certain kind of like, sort of. I mean, that it sort of makes it gives it a certain charm in the bar, but it's nice in this.
So is there
situation.
anyone who still wants to vote? Is anyone wanting, is there anyone who wants to submit but hasn't submitted their poll yet? Okay, then I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to end the poll. I'm not going to share the results.
Sorry, how do you set the poll in?
It's too late. I just took it down. So you're going to get the next poll. I'm going to launch the, or it's not going to let me. Come on, Zoom. What? No, it's over. I am so confused. All right, so it's making me share the results before I finish. So look away. These aren't necessarily the most meaningful numbers.
And so is it going to be shared with is just on your screen? Because maybe you could just stop your video.
It'll still show up.
Yeah. All right.
I think that you shouldn't show it. I think you should do it. I
I don't seem to have a way to close it without sharing it.
I think
I'm
the
trying.
curators should score it.
I strongly agree with you, but I don't have that option because of this technology.
Can you just write down the numbers?
Yeah, to that
for
end.
each person?
Okay, so I can, let me see if I can, okay, so just give me a moment.
The benevolent despot is better than democracy, and communism is better also.
The benevolent despot.
Right, but
That's how we describe Jason.
The
Yeah.
benevolent despot. I'm sure that
Here we
that
go.
was-
I think I did it.
the best
Yeah, no,
idea.
I launched
Yep.
poll number 2 without revealing the results of poll
You
number
did
1.
it. You did
You
it.
did.
You're
Wait,
amazing.
Okay.
hang on, Jason. Jason, give me a little.
I think the benevolent despot would be a great children's book, maybe, and in the right regime.
The benevolent despot. Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
Marcus Aurelius or something, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So after our first turn, we are up to Catherine Gonick. So whenever you're ready, we're ready for you.
I don't think she's here.
All right.
Okay.
Catherine,
One's across the board for Catherine.
Catherine was here. Is she?
Oh no, did we lose Catherine?
Well, if she comes back, then we'll let her read and potentially change some of those ones. Sabrina Simone is next, and on deck after Sabrina is Mia Hansford.
Okay, can I start whenever? Am I good to go? Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna start with a poem I wrote called An Oath to Rose. It's what they don't see. That's where my heart is. I walk and they hear footsteps while I hear chains. I feel them dragging me in my steps and I am in pain. 10 years of pain, 10 years of love. I am full of love, and each narrow road is an endless mountain that I climb. Hand and foot for us, for you. My rose, my reflection, my light. I'm infinitely filled with relief and cry tears full of passion to water the dirt path on which I walk, so that one day you may dance weightlessly in the field of flowers that awaits you. Okay, and the second one and the last one that I'm going to read is called An Ode to You, An Ode to Us. I see you from across the room. You and I are one in the same. We are the only ones here. You appear soft, and I admire that. Yet you open your mouth, and your words are so harsh to the ear. Your voice booms, and I beg you, quiet down. They will misjudge. Don't curse. They will see us as angry. And don't overstep. They will feel threatened, and we will be ashamed. Ashamed of my pleas, I retract. We are never allowed to be loud. We can never curse, and the opportunity to overstep does not exist. So please, be loud so that your voice swallows the masses, curse the wind with passion, and overstep as you should. You are Black and beautiful and loud and radiant, and you and I will make sure they feel our heat the way the earth feels the sun on a hot summer's day. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So you still have some time. Do you have, if you have one more, I bet you could fit it in there.
I have like an anti-haiku. It's not really structured the way an average haiku goes, but this is called The Last of Central Park. The earth wears a blue and white tie-dye shirt, and in its pocket, a lonely dandelion.
Awesome. That's so good. All right. After Sabrina now we have Mia. And after Mia we have Bernard. So anytime you are ready, Mia.
Not seeing Mia.
Not seeing Mia. Well, then I guess Bernard will have to go a little before his time.
That is not something that you want to say.
No, that's crazy.
Come on.
I have always been ahead of my time.
Yeah.
I can go. Flip me.
Mhm.
Matthew, I can't see you.
Yeah, you're good.
He can't see you. Just flip the timer.
Yeah, you just had to talk. You had to say something to be shown.
Your time started.
I hate the absolute construction. I hate the absolute construction as I hate everything beautiful, useful, and phony. I hate the sunset because it is never what it appears. I hate the philosophy of Kant, Hume, and Spinoza. They are just trying to make you unhappy. I hate my name. It's stupid. Unfortunately, it suits me extremely well. Formal gardens, I believe, appear in far too much of the world's literature. An amusement park is neither amusing nor really a park. Grammar is for chumps. This world makes it hard just to survive. It keeps its treasures hidden from us and makes us dig for them or learn to grow things, build things, blow things up. In a word, work. And work is relentlessly dull, embarrassing, and just too hard. This country is hostile to strangers and counts just about everyone a stranger. A rainbow is a particularly frivolous little piece of systematic foolishness, and Christ, how people go on about it as if it were liquid happiness pouring across the sky. Cauliflower. What are you going to say about cauliflower? I wish it had never existed. I feel it as a personal affront. If there were nothing on earth to eat but peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, I'd be perfectly content. But no, for some reason, we aren't made that way. For some reason, we are born in shit and have to go through puberty, a process so ridiculous that if you put it into the plot of a horror or sci-fi film, they would laugh it off the screen. So there you are, a moron, as unimpressive a specimen as you'll ever be. And it is just then that the whole of your attention focuses on finding a sexual partner among all the others who are either arrogant or remote or so eager it scares you away. And then work, which is a complete waste of time if, like nearly everyone, you're just going to be cheated out of your labor and forced to worship false gods and beaten and brought down. And for some reason, we are told that each day is a miracle. For some reason, we are supposed to not only accept all of it, but proclaim that we love it. We would never have it any other way. We are so grateful for the gift of music, art, and poetry, and how the heart leaps when just the right construction of sound strikes our ears, for that is how we are fashioned. We are at the mercy of whatever waves of sound and of light penetrate our defenses, for truly it would be better to remain always in darkness and silence, where these lies, suffering, and cruelty could not reach us, for we are not one with the universe. No, not us, but alone in the cosmos, among the superstars, quasars, and galaxies, wandering among the errant particles of matter and waves of energy. We alone, armed only with metaphor, syntax, figures of speech, are made of something else entirely. Thank you.
Thank you, Bernard, for that. Reminds me of On the Misery of the Human Condition by Pope Innocent. I mean, just that level of bonhomie.
I thought it was like that kind of Pollyanna-ish thing that Pope Francis wrote the other day, actually.
I haven't read
It's great.
that. Bernard, thank you. And why did my list of readers disappear? I will bring it
Karen
right back.
is next.
Karen is next.
Karen Hildebrand is up next.
Hi, I'm right here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Good, good, good. Okay. Joseph Braithwaite, you have the wrong address. Dear Joseph Braithwaite, everything you order is delivered to me 3 times just this week. We can't find you, they say. What have you done with the breeze, your unshorn hair? Mailbox big enough for donuts by the dozens stuffed with gooey cream. It's a felony to open other people's dreams. I tried filing off your name, but I can't unsee these winding roads, the Portuguese seaside stinging my cheek, hugging the curve on a fierce Ducati. The stench of your cigar settled in on Tuesday. I've been left alone so long. That too intended for you? Just now I answered when a neighbor hollered, "Hey, Joseph." And from a crowd of small, noisy children, bounded a golden retriever puppy so gleeful it peed on the spot. I had no choice but to fall down and take its full galloping weight. And then this next one is inspired by a really charming story I read in the news earlier this year. You may remember it. There was a guy named Carl Butts who bought the Mountain Messenger, the oldest weekly paper in the country, in Downeyville, California. So it's called Widowed Man Saves Small Town Newspaper. I am a small town walking to work along a dusty road, unfiltered smoke tucked under my palm. Here I stand on my main street, sleeves rolled up to do the job that is called today. I show up ready to set the type, paste the ad. Let me at it, I say, crazy hair in the wind. It's a new morning in America. I am the 4th of July parade every Saturday. Dykes on bikes, stilt walkers, spoken word poets, all flock to my gentle arms. The parking is free. Lose the jangle of keys that fit buildings you no longer enter. Grab a Coke at Ruth's while the press spins out a grand love story. Bundles of newsprint tied with a string. Every Wednesday, I load the bed of my pickup with our collective grief, plow it into the soil. My victory garden. I've never been as hungry.
Thank you. Beautiful work. Our next poet is Rebecca Temerario.
I don't think Rebecca's here.
Oh, alas. Cheryl J. Fish.
Hey, Cheryl.
Hi. Okay, so I'm going to read two poems about friendship. The first one is from my recent book, Crater and Tower. Lost friends. I lost the friend who tells me I should not hit reply all and that I should scroll down. I lost the one who scolds me for my tip in the Mexican restaurant to the friend who says, you can't eat fish in my presence. The one with whom you can't discuss sex, but you can discuss money. The close friend who maintains a separate apartment from her husband now goes bike riding early morning with my friend who retired early. They watch birds and eat breakfast. On the terrace after my birthday dinner, the boyfriend of my friend who attends Mets games with me talked only to the husband of the friend I hardly see because she buys clothes for her grown children and claims obligations every Shabbat. The boyfriend feels uncomfortable listening to women talk about their writing, but he cannot escape, sandwiched in the corner, until his girlfriend gives him the nod to worm away. I lost friends to their parents and kids, to their partners, to lost friends in France and Italy, to circumstance, or was it something I said? My former college roommate became a Trump apologist. I lost another friend to an early death. Looking at an old telephone book filled with names and numbers, lost to days and nights, quiet forgetting. And the next poem is from a book I have coming out, photographs and poems from my time in Finland. Prior previousness. In the hotel sauna with Jane in Helsinki, we were previousness, lost in sweat and shower, heated meditation, far from New York City and our jobs, teaching writing to immigrant students. We must get back. We undo done graduate school striving for hot heat, relaxation, nudity. Beer spigot outside the sauna, but no beer. We ride the streetcar to see the Tom of Finland exhibit, to sit by the Gulf of Finland with its pleasure boats, listening to birds. Light gathers fierce strength throughout May. Jane returns every 2 years for the Maple Leaf and Eagle Conference. We drip, we pour water, touch the wooden bench. In our prior previousness, we were not close. Here, we glisten, crave small, crunchy muiku fish fried in kettles, but it's not quite summer, not quite midnight sun. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Cheryl. Those were excellent poems. Jada, you are next.
Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. This first poem is called Thanksgiving. Because of you, I always shred the carrots down to nothingness. When the grater scrapes my finger, I know it's all gone. Like my brother's life on Friday night. Blood and saccharin poured into the bowl. It is your love in overdrive. But you're more brown sugar than saccharin, closer to the heart, loyal to the soil, slow and gradual like molasses from the icing of the superficial to the moist center of your soul. The flavors tell me a story. Walnuts chopped to smithereens. The toughest days become the smoothest when you snake your words down the drain of my ear. It all becomes so clear that you know half of what I know. You've lived lifetimes while I've lived chapters. Your heart slips off your sleeve and down your hand, dripping cream and careful. Every slice hugs me ocean deep. The next poem is called Last Week of Summer in New York City. The fire hydrant running low on its last leg of power, the winds sweet and light catching aroma of backwoods and baby back ribs, legs pumping, stomachs, pectorals, and thighs, breathing in their last glimpse of sun. Rockaway beach waves, twisted and succulent, slap their victims, a carousel of nature blessing our bodies while swaying and sweltering sunlight. Mighty and full of melanin, our dark brown skin, smooth and ripe. The skin cries for this, even though it's fleeting. The wind in all its grace, insomnia is holding bodies under moonlight. And sunrise catches eyes, watching them state like a sky full of diamonds, frozen in the sorrow tomorrow carries, wrapped in memory as thick and humid on the hottest day. The next poem is called Watching the Color Purple During Quarantine. To touch my sister's face under an unrelenting sunlight in a field of trauma turned to delight. I want to touch southern soil, to feel the home I've never known. Self-isolation ain't new. Self-isolation is grand. Crowded dance halls have left me empty. Dark liquor kept me full. Tight sidewalks push me out. New York is choking me. Silly and Nettie cry in each other's hands, scratching anxiety off my neck. Isolation is a deep sleep. I'm floating. My future isn't aimless. Thick miles of land with no plans to fill the space set in stone. I hate when plans are canceled or when they're taken from me.
Awesome. Beautiful poems, Jada. Thank you for them. Lisa Andrews is our next reader.
Some other time. There are places in the apartment where time has stopped. And if you go to that shelf or drawer, open any door, explore between the kitchen counter and the living room sink, you will find I lack follow through. Or is it a matter of focus, the trouble I have maintaining it? When driving, for example, I would often veer off the road, reading The Tempest right now and distracted, thrown by the introduction. How it claims the play is only about time, not space,
And I'd like to argue, anachronistically or not, on behalf of space-time, a generous theory I can't understand. This pandemic we're inside, all before and no after, unless you tighten your focus. Limit it to one shutdown. The weeks before it, a brief but significant stretch. Last times I might have seen coming, but didn't. Certainly not the preceding oblivious fall when I believed every invitation declined or postponed, every event canceled or put off for the time being meant only, we'll do it another time, like the lyric from a show tune decades back. Oh well, we'll catch up some other time. A lyric that makes clear what it hides. We've lost our chance, yet so tenderly written and meaning no harm. Have we lost our place in a book? We've all been reading words that come so close, almost succeed in concealing what's being said. I mean, sung. Have I mentioned I can't sing, which is why I was so grateful someone at my mother's funeral could sing the hymn she had chosen, so exquisitely difficult, impossible, really, but one voice. What other word is there but rose? Rose up and sang, carrying us through it the way at my husband's 40th birthday party. So many people in that top floor apartment, the air conditioner off so the candles could stay lit. My friend Liz took me aside. You need to start a lot lower than that, she said, or you won't make it to the end. That's it.
Thank you, Lisa. I can't read. Salia.
The irony is her book is Dear Liz.
Yeah, I'm a mess over here. I can't reach my keys. I feel like I'm in a body cast. So Salia.
Hi.
Hello, you are next. Anytime
Okay.
you begin reading the poems is good.
Okay, I just want to say, so I have manic depressive disorder, so I have a poem about depression and a poem about mania. So we're going to start with the manic one. It's called Sinkhole. Standing in the caustic acid rain while in a knee-deep flood from a break in a water main. A cold wind that deepens the sharp aches. The saturated ground quakes under my feet. There is no sun beyond the gray clouds. A sinkhole gives in suddenly, and the water enshrouds me. I'm struggling to the surface through the mire. This sinking depression has quickly turned dire. Above the muddy water is a colossal wall, looking down on me, 100 faces, small and indifferent. My hands clutching the slippery rocks surrounding. I begin shouting. People at street level are rerouting their paths to avoid me. All are wearing blinders and no one is listening. This is society's worst example of human conditioning. No reprieves for an invisible illness because we tell ourselves it's not a real sickness. But what a shame, you'll say, after they bury me, as if there was no coal mine canary. What a shame, what a shame. And then the second one is called Elegy for the Unmedicated Self. You used to be able to fly. The world was in technicolor. How could that part of you die? You read messages that would appear in the sky, opened my eyes to the wonders there were to discover. You used to be able to fly. Happiness was redefined. Every day was the first of summer. How could that part of you die? But the grandiose ideas you could not justify exposed that your mind was in full disorder. You used to think that we could fly, willing to give anything a try. Danger was disguised as adventure. How did that part of you die? With years gone by, life has gotten duller, but without these delusions, I don't have to suffer. I thought I was able to fly, but that part of me had to die. Thank you.
Thank you.
Was that last one a villanelle?
It was. It's also an elegy, so I like to think I coined the term villanelegy, but probably not.
Very, very nice. Love
Thank
it.
you.
Villanelegy.
Yeah.
Man, what
Trademark. I'm just kidding.
what an awesome dance club. I cannot wait to go.
Thank you guys.
Next we have Liz Axelrod. Liz, are you hooked up on a laptop?
Wait. We have to fill out the
Yeah,
this form.
I'm here. I've been here the whole time.
And so while everyone is filling out their forms and submitting them, we're at 7 of 28 right now. So we want to get up to about 20 at least. We were up at, like, I think 25 last time. Liz Axelrod, Shandy Walton, Alana Lev Friedland, and Jerry Wagoner are up. If you want to add yourself to that list, you can still do it.
Is Sabrina Comfort here?
But so who? Oh, and Patricia Carrick. Did Patricia show up? No. Were any of the people that we thought that we'd skipped?
Is Catherine Ghana here?
I don't see Catherine.
Okay.
Is Sabrina Pumford here?
Okay. So we're at 17 of 28. Keep submitting those polls.
Okay.
I'll get to do some very exciting data entry very shortly, which I used to do outside of Baltimore for roughly, well, it's actually a little bit more than minimum wage.
What kind of data were you entering?
I was mostly entering healthcare records. I was entering healthcare records into a warehouse for the warehousing of healthcare records. And then I got hired in another warehouse where I measured boxes. And I recorded the measurements of the boxes in the warehouse. And when I asked someone why I was measuring the boxes, they said to me, "So we don't have to."
It's good to feel like your work has purpose.
And then in the warehouse where I was measuring the boxes, I worked from 9 at night to 5 in the morning receiving trucks. That was a really good job. I really, really like that
This
job.
will all be in the forthcoming Schneiderman on Schneiderman. I think it's autobiography. FSG.
Well, that was a very interesting question. What kind of data were you entering? You know, like asking like, well, what kind of groceries were you putting in the bags when your job at the supermarket? I don't know. It's a valid question.
Can I ask a question? Are we going to take a quick break? I need to use the
Yeah.
restroom, but I don't want to
Oh,
miss
sure.
anybody's
We should,
reading.
yeah. How are we doing on votes, Jason? Is it matched
We
up
are
to
at
the last
23
one?
of 27. I think we're almost ready to close the poll. Why don't we give people 3 minutes to run out to the bathroom? Do not go to the bathroom on Zoom. You should leave your laptop where it is, or you'll have to resign from your position as PTA chair. Just happened in, I think, was that New
Oh
Jersey? Or
no!
was that,
Oh yeah. I heard about
Did you
that.
see that one?
Yeah.
it was up on
yeah.
QWERTY.
Yeah.
Apparently,
What did a PTA chair do?
They went to the
this-
bathroom while on Zoom. They brought their laptop so that they didn't have to leave the meeting. But then everybody saw that they were on the toilet.
Did they not? Wow, it's not hard to
Oh,
turn your screen off.
amazing. I'm always amazed by that.
No, I don't get it.
So we do have a comment here from Indra. He said that he spoke to Catherine and she's at home taken ill but not serious. So she asked him to send her excuses.
Okay, and we'll tell her that we are sorry to miss her.
And we have a comment here for Salia too, although she's out of the room. Maybe I'll wait for her to come back. She probably saw it anyway. I guess we have a lot of nice comments. I'm loving this tonight. Everybody's doing great. This is fantastic.
Yeah, don't turn off your chat. Make sure you read the chat. There are some nice things that people say in there.
Salia's back. Yeah, I don't know if you saw. There's a nice comment here from Ilana. Salia, I have bipolar disorder, and that manic poem so perfectly captured mania. Thank you for that.
Thank you. I'm glad. Thanks.
All right, so we're up to, I think we're peaking out at 88%. So unless anyone is still really holding, I'm gonna end this poll. And then I'm gonna do the exciting thing where I launch the third poll. Okay.
Okay.
And so I have captured all of that. And I was hoping we were gonna have instant answers, instant results, but no, there will actually be a fair amount of data entry between the poll results and announcing the winner. But like I said, I'm really good at it, and I can you know how like you learn like the QWERTY keyboard and you like do this, like I'm really good with the number pad. Like I can do that.
So we should have the results, I would say, within like, what do you think, Jason? We'll just post them on the Instagram and on the Facebook and on
yeah. We should have them in days.
A couple days.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
but everyone's been fabulous, and remember this kind of we also haven't had to gong anybody tonight. I don't know if you noticed.
Everyone's been amazing. Thank you so much,
yeah.
everyone, for like really respecting the time and
yeah.
having practiced and timed yourselves. And
yeah, it's really good stuff.
It's
tonight,
amazing how much you can get done in 3 minutes. I'm really impressed that everyone's readings have just been amazing and impactful and short.
Into that.
All right, shall we launch back in?
Yeah.
All right. This brings us to Liz Axelrod. Liz is, whenever you're ready, you are free to begin.
Okay. This is called Ogre in My Ear. When I was 8, I made fake mansions in the underbrush of blueberry brambles. My prince and princesses lived there lovingly. We got struck by thorns, but we ate sweet berries. I played all afternoon at killing tyrants, building my castles out of mud. Alone in the backyard, I'd listen to laments from the kitchen, fearing dinner time. How untangled and tiny my games felt back then. I thought those curses were buried, sleeping deep under ancient ground. But when our table talk turns thorny, I draw my sticks up from that earth. And this is from a manuscript I'm working on. It's called The Princess Manifesto. It's got a whole bunch of changes to, fairy tales. This is Rapunzel. Rapunzel didn't enjoy spinning. The seat was too hard. Her legs kept cramping, but the witch made her practice every day. She didn't enjoy the prince's tug on her braid. It sent her into convulsions. He promised her riches and power while his hard body pushed and pulled. Those promises didn't make it hurt any less. How many times must she endure his visits before he gets the guts to take her with him? Does he even have a kingdom? All this thinking while spinning left her raw. Plus, she needed more greens. Years went by. Then came the roar of machines. Far beyond the witch's cabin on Route 66, she heard men riding black Harleys like horses. From her perch in the tower, Rapunzel felt the depth of their vibrations. She decided to weave a trap and get the hell out of the tower on her own. When the witch came back, the glow from Rapunzel's shaved head turned the witch inside out. Her mouth and the tower door fell open. Rapunzel used that moment well. She pushed the old bat out of the tower window, a blonde braid noose wrapped round her scrawny neck. Rapunzel then went straight to the garden and ate all the Swiss chard. With a mouthful of green-stained teeth, she kept watch in the witch's cabin. She lit candles and practiced spells, found Stevie Nicks records, and danced to Rhiannon spinning in circles. The witch had a decent library. Rapunzel read Kafka and Kerouac. She left a note for the prince. It's the too huge road vaulting us, and this is goodbye, sucker. Then she packed up everything of value in a big satin satchel, took the witch's grimoire to find spells and ideas for a colored sleeve, and headed out on the road to meet some bikers, take a spin on a Harley, and get tattooed.
Thank you, Liz. Rapunzel's shaved head should be the name of, somebody's hit record. All right. Let's take a moment to write down our score for Liz. And then our next reader is Shandy Walton. And our next reader after that is Ilana.
Okay now?
Shandy?
Yes.
You're up.
Okay.
And Shandy's coming to us from Italy. I think Shandy wins the Furthest Away award.
Yes, thank you so much for inviting us all. I really appreciate this. Thank you. View from a shuttle bus. In an interview before her death, Nina Simone raised her fork and spoke rampantly into a camera. Guns, 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 she supposed. I never believed in nonviolent protest. I've always been a violent person. I wanted to shoot, but my husband told me I was no good at it, so I used my music, my voice. Mouth tucked to take arms, put the Negro in the cellar. When one sits down, it is time to sit down. She is unwell, having lost her head and neck to other throes and blues, a terrible shroud, billboard for cotton, American pedestrian, a few ships, row of iron, empress, better eye, I'm mad. While listening to Porgy and Bess, when in a boat or on a window, do you desire to play and sing, pull pigeons from your wake for Dr. Jesus? Isn't it far easier to lie near the corner of a pane where even dark curtains can't cut the day in two? To be awash alone is maybe a little more than blues, or the soul's collapse somehow evens the score. Many days and dust and irony. Gautama, last night I drank too much. I always do. Parched, I'm mad, parched through, go away. A goat is on a rock right now. I nod for grass, shadow, salt licks, that distant bind of dirt, past prison, grass liquid jar, Mount Zion, crying ass tidy, who stays? A good sum of naturals dig up parts in this spot, cows fallow, sick from ground snow. I'm probably not around. Arm and hand climb cans, sewn bits unsewn. At 2 a.m. a crisis struck, Mayans right. It's Christmas in Ohio, corn grows. In my blood, a brown canyon of ash cuts. Sabbath won't do, I work in the ash cuts. Portrait of a young man. You may dream a dog or hemming men up, but the truth is you are a boy, leaf and moon. Even after a yellow crane, the wheels spin, it rains, reflects, stay pinched, speak politics. You will eat and sow grasses, reap, forage for more objects above trunk and store. You repeat the green objects there in the size of your britches, the way you walk. You chip your teeth at radio's end, a bottom space. Gnash out of these teeth, a permission to fork and shovel, a persimmon, a persistence, a provision. You are so weary, tired of this dog's body, hunched near a rock in a primitive gesture. Okay, all right. Okay, I decided not to read the last poem because I know time is winding down, but thank you so much.
Thank you. Those were excellent poems.
Thank you.
Clicks everywhere. Remind me of a young Kate Marvin. Just the way you're weaving the sounds of the language.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Alana, whenever
Hi.
you are ready.
My name is Alana Lev Friedland. My pronouns are they, them, theirs. I'm going to read 3 poems for you. The first, Trans Love Song. I was born endemic to your bedroom. Let this tune see us through the next super blue blood moon. Your bag of dicks, my stubborn insistence on running analytics. You milk to my cereal, the sogginess of sensation so unfamiliar and so saccharine. I want you to break the internet no longer a substitute to you. May this be my always ars poetica. My ars is yours, always. Circumcise my heart, O genderqueer God. after John Donne's Batter My Heart, three-person God, and Meg Day's Batter My Heart, transgendered God. Circumcise my heart, O genderqueer God. If clothes make the man, then rend me. I map my kinship in letters. Dear, do take heed of the sound of the shofar. Flagellate me, leak-handed. The new start I know is a fish head, a pomegranate, bee's vomit. Honey my throat, that I may exalt your throne of loving kindness, that I may pass beneath your staff as a sheep to shepherd. Tell me who by water and who by a red scarf hanging from a doorknob. If angels tremble, then what can mortals do? I see the circled rot in apples green, lips pasted shut and date by others swallowed. Last up. If without regretting, I am telling you every single word. To conjure an infinitesimal discotheque, I am the motherfucking lyric gesture gestated on the hump of a hind, hounding an anthem less kind, so let me bang all the pots in the pantry. I bear scars from a box cutter and call them offspring. Have I said a hallelujah for the bedsheet or moaned a lacrimosa for the cyst on my right eyelid? I keep breasts quivered without notching. Call bull if that's an option. You see, an optimal influx of Ritalin decreases by speeding. These are the friends that keep me fluorescent, and no accident in supposing. There is a theory in my mythos that standing in the dark with the door closed is its own form of asphyxiation. There is this thing called caffeine that releases tiny bubbles into your bloodstream until you become a god. I know because I've seen it. You can trust me because the only horse I have in this race is the one I've culled from my esophagus. It's like the opposite of a supplement released daily from clear gold capsules, or a ritual performed without submersion, or a rocket ship powered by God's grace and fuchsia glue sticks. How I'd love to show you the painting. My fingers are trailing down the walls with menstrual blood. I have put myself in the corner, so call me daddy. The only good thing I got from the hospital was men's deodorant that I spread beneath my dresses. And what a pretty boy I am making. Thank you.
Alana, that was fantastic. Way to bring the snap, crackle, and pop to it.
All right, so we have one more reader after this. So enter your poll numbers. It is my error. And then we'll have Tanya will be our last reader. And there'll be one more poll. But for right now, everyone enter. No one has put in their scores yet. It's 0 out of 27. So it's launched, right? You can all see it. Oh, I'm sorry, Jerry. I'm so sorry. I'm like stepping on Jerry. I'm a monster. Matt, introduce Jerry, and then we'll have one more person. I'm
sorry. I thought that maybe Jerry wasn't here, and I was
no. And in fact, Jerry did so much work to be here. Like, you have no idea. Like, I know I texted and emailed a lot of people. Jerry, there were like 7 different interchanges. Like Jerry, like, give him an extra point just for like all of the hurdles that he jumped to get here.
Yeah, I think he deserves maybe 2 extra points, after almost, no, I don't know about that. All right, Jerry, you are up next. As soon as you begin, we'll flip the timer.
Okay. All right. These are 3 poems from a, excuse me, background. These are 3 poems from a manuscript that I've recently finished. It's about April 2020. It is April 2nd, 9:10 p.m., 44 degrees, clear. The lone patrol car rolls. A commercial trash truck idles. Empty trains rattle below. A stranger quick draws a bird on a brick. Suspended without suspense, time is elusive in limbo. Unseen bottles clink, clatter into some recycle bin. A woman scrapes her garbage can to the curb. No thrum from the great city. I might be lost in the forest, slogging through all white snowfall, or tied in the twisted sheets of last night's dream. And April 22nd, 3:55 p.m., 54 degrees, cloudy. Early morning, I walked to the hardware store, then did concrete work. Filled erosion gaps around the stoop, patched shift cracks on the back wall. Messed with words this afternoon. Hoped a few shy figments from sleep would drift close enough to the light. I might pluck them from their matte black fog. They hide like trout you know are there, tight to a big rock, shielded under reflected sky. I cast expectedly, repeatedly, all my best lures, until it felt more like a job than a creek to be worked again. Maybe someday in this perpetual month of some days. And if I have time, a short one. April 24th, 10 p.m., 50 degrees. Night, misty, drizzle. It's always sunset on the river Styx. No cars. Walk wait spills a block's worth of orange, then white over oil black bluestone. I fear this is not as empty as it gets. That's it.
Thank you, Jerry. Poems from the quotidian. Well, we will submit, and then we will wait for Jason to tally. And have any readers arrived into the room who have not read or missed their turn? Anyone that would like to read? Me, cries
Did we get Rebecca?
All right.
Rebecca, is that Rebecca Temerario?
Second. Yep, it's me.
Okay.
Sorry, I was still
All right.
muted.
There we go. Just a second. I have to.
Did Liz Axelrod read? For some reason, I have.
She did. Yeah.
She did. Her poem included Rapunzel's shaved head.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Yeah, the fairy tale.
Yes, that's the one. That's I thought I had given her a score. Okay, got it. I can submit. Okay.
This is why Jeopardy has a little song that they play. You know. Da, 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 da. Speaking of Alex Trebek.
Okay, we're at 81%. I think we're good. I'm going to end that poll.
Did anybody not submit that intended to? Are we?
Do we need to relaunch poll 3, or is everyone okay?
Yeah, it's too soon. It's too soon.
Sorry. Okay. All right, I'm relaunching it. No, I can't relaunch it.
Oh.
That would. Oh
That's
dear.
okay. I actually think that I misinterpreted Alana's comment. She was commenting on something that Matthew said too soon, and I perceived it as too soon to close the poll.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
Okay.
I was like, too soon. R.I.P. Alex Trebek.
Okay.
If that was a
All right.
joke.
If you
Sorry, Alana.
If anyone didn't get to vote in poll 3, you can send me your poll, and we're going to launch poll 4. And here are our final 2 readers of the evening.
All right. And so those 2 final readers are Tanya Gray and Rebecca Temerario. So Tanya, whenever you are ready, we'll turn over the hourglass for you.
Okay, great. Thank you. I'm gonna read I think 3 poems, smaller poems. And I love that Jerry just read one about a river in the underworld, because this is kind of riffing on that. And it's the poem Lethe, which is a river under another Greek river in the underworld. For all the fish, the little blessings that I missed, maybe I should just thank you. We can leave the dress behind that didn't fit, or fly to a new city, and where the metropolis is our skin, things happen. How one love becomes another, in seasons maybe. It's okay to remember how I lived multitudes of lives. Where does oblivion begin? Years I tried to forget and be reborn, not as a naiad, no, I want feathers and dark. Let me be the hunter. According to Virgil, I'm almost ready. But if long to stay, I should know how I got here, have I been drinking your water so long I've erased whole passages? Maybe I'll forget. I forget everything these days. Rewind, which at this point is almost an ancient verb because what do we rewind? I look for what keeps me here. That first love and breathlessness my therapist compares to crack. That high when I don't give a fuck, when I feel like I've won, when I am solid and safe and lightness, that yes. To stay here is Hollywood and celluloid, real, flammable, wound so tight, a fingernail can't wedge between then and now. A spool of mind I replay when nothing catches, when my prayer beads move under thumb faster and faster, when the bike pedals outpace the chain, when all the plates I'm spinning drop and ring the house to silence, that flood of light when the movie burns. And last one, it's the title poem from my book, Undall. Some lives grow twisted in the belly, throat blue and airless, corset bound. I have no arms attached in your packaging to hold back cellophane, the walls boxed. Your memory trails the way of an elephant, oversized for a single room. I am strung out, hungry, awake. Hunger is entropy, ever after. I swallow the night. I swallow the left side of the bed and pull the pregnant covers over my eyes, abiding with you. Because you are too much to swallow. Because yesterday's special is today's leftover. The tongue diagrams the taste. I diagram the years, spoon and cup, ocean and blanket. We have no bones, though I drag you with me. There's nothing to say now. I remember your hands, calloused and all want. Our whole is a fractal of everything. I see the pieces. I see mine coming back with arms. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanya. That was great work. Rebecca, you are going to be finishing up the 2020 KGB Zoom open mic competition, and we can't wait. So whenever you're ready,
All
we'll
right.
close the hourglass.
Thanks, guys. I'm going to read two poems. One is the first poem I ever wrote that I thought was completely terrible, but my professor encouraged me otherwise and got me into poetry. And then the most recent poem. So you can go ahead and turn over the timer. No picnic. We crossed the farmland in a daze, the other congressman and I. We settled down under a cluster of trees in the ghost town farmland, spreading out our blankets and emptying the contents of our picnic baskets, waiting for our fairy tale Union victory. Rumor had it that the Yanks could fight better than Britain's finest army led by the king himself. But then the Rebs exploded from the train. I saw their mouths open, but the scream was my own. The dream's blood rolled over into a nightmare. Chasing the spectators away from their sickening sport, the Confederates ate their lunch of human flesh. Our perfect scenario gobbled up by animals, the dead men walking, left their blood bubbling on the blankets. Their meals half eaten, they discovered they didn't have the stomach for battle, because war is no picnic. All right, and my second poem. I read my first one from my iPhone because we are moving and my fiance packed the printer first. This is called In the Graveyard of Friends. 1. In the graveyard of friends, there are no funerals for the deceased. We entomb our dead under stale text messages and the chasm of tears shed at the bar. 2. It's complicated is what I used to describe the entangling of us. I swallowed our relationship whole so it wouldn't be a note the teacher would ask me to recite to hungry middle school ears. 3. I grew older and you older still, but never wiser. We traded crumpled paper for party tricks, all the champagne and the rumors and the glitz, churning from iconoclast to disciple and back again. 4. You should have been a saint. I would have worshipped at the altar of your beguile. The smoke and the mirrors dusted with incense, scandal after scandal. The only relic I have of you now is disgust, the memory of each lie you used to anoint me. 4. On Sundays, we recite the verse, what is masculinity if not the opening of all doors for women? What is womanhood if it isn't stealing everything from him because he had it once? What is friendship if not a graveyard of combined entrants that bury themselves under ego after ego? 5. To you, I was a heathen, ready to be cut loose. No amount of religion or alcohol tinged in holy water could drown our ghosts, my priest. Thank you.
Thank you, Rebecca. So we are, John, are you putting on the big house applause?
Yeah, that was me. Yeah.
That was some.
That was the end of the night.
All big house applause. Can we maybe get that again?
Oh yeah.
That's what we're talking about. That's the spirit. So everybody, let's get our final 2 readers judged, and then we will submit the results to Jason.
And I'll do the little promotional work that I need to do. So if you want to keep KGB in business, you can see they're having some really amazing readings. You've already missed Michael Cunningham and A.M. Holmes and Jonathan Franzen, but Francine Prose is tomorrow night. Jennifer Egan, Ruth Freeman, Rick Moody. There's some pretty big names there. Billy Collins,
Jonathan Leatham, Saffron Forward.
All the Jonathans,
Yep.
Except Ames.
Except
all
Ames.
the Jonathans
Yeah,
except
well,
Ames.
And Wells, but maybe we'll see him at KGB again soon.
Yeah. Well, actually, we will. He's reading next spring. He has a new book out from Four-Way, so he's in the Four-Way reading.
Right.
So you can go to the KGB website and you can sign up for one of those. I think they're around $15 for each. And then if you'd like to make just a straight up donation, sorry, let me get to the right one. You can also go to the KGB Fundly. And as we get closer and closer to having a vaccine, I think these get more and more exciting. So you can send in $15 now and you'll have 2 drinks waiting for you when we have a vaccine. And you can give $25 and have 3 drinks. And if you get all the way to Patron, for $50,000, you will have a $45,000 bar tab, which will outlast your liver.
Yeah, the most popular person in the bar that night. So if you got an extra 50 grand lying around, which I'm sure we all do these days in pandemic times. But thank you. This was a really fantastic night. Everybody was great. And
there's a lot of life insurance checks, getting
that's true.
around. Yeah.
there's some all right.
Some gallows humor.
Yeah, why not? That's the but what I noticed is cool. We have no shortage tonight of like authors of poetry books, as well as like much younger poets who are kind of just getting their feet wet and getting started out. And I thought just everybody was fantastic. So
and older poets who are just starting to get their feet wet too.
Yeah. And so like, I mean, I don't know how close anyone is to New York, but really when we open up, it would be very cool to see all of you in person. There hasn't been a lot of big group meetings of any kind this year. So to even hear from this many people in one night does kind of create the effect of being there more than even sort of our 2-3 person readings have, I think. So thank you all.
Oh, and come back next Monday. You're not going to want to miss it because it's...
Oh yeah, we have one of America's best loved, best known poets, Ann Carson, is going to be reading along with
Thomas
Mallon and Kimberly
Thomas
Gray.
Mallon, the
Kimberly
novelist.
Gray and Thomas Mallon. Yeah.
Yeah,
That'd be really great.
Zoom has, afforded us the opportunity to have certain readers that would be kind of smashed by the amount of people that would try to fit into the bar if they read. And so this way we can kind of protect, the Ann Carsons of the world. And she could just fold her laptop closed if we start trying to attack her. And I would love. All right. So how are we doing on those results?
So I'm going to stop the recording.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody.